It's uncomfortable. Throw me a life jacket, right? Ah! You can change the world. Shell shocking. You know, not all innovations work. Boom. The aliens are actually coming. On November 19th, 2024, we experienced thunderbolts and lightning when Pluto shifted into Aquarius, and it left Capricorn for the last time in our lifetime. Anybody watching this alive now will never experience Pluto and Capricorn again. So my question for you is this: are you one of those people that is actually excited about this? I'm going to tell you the truth about me. I was looking so forward to Pluto moving into Aquarius and getting out of the crystallization and sort of the rules, the burdens, the heaviness of Capricorn. I was really thinking that this would be like a great liberation, and I still think it will be. But I'm telling you, if you haven't watched my video yet on the power of the 0, 15th, and 29th degree, you should, because we're sitting here at the earliest degree, which is 0, and it's the most powerful, and it's uncomfortable. We're going to be in this Pluto in Aquarius for a long time, and I'm going to tell you all about it. First, what we're going to do, like in Sagittarius style, we are going to go very big picture, and I'm going to talk to you about this concept of Pluto in Aquarius at a global scale, actually a cosmic scale, because the aliens are actually coming. Yes, they are, and they might knock on your door. So it's at this cosmic level. So we're going to talk about it in this very big picture. And then I'm going to invite you to look at how this affects you in your own chart. I'm going to do a lot more since we're going to become best friends with Pluto in Aquarius. I'm going to do a lot more work, and I'm going to do a lot of behind the scenes videos, giving you a lot more detail about what it means to have Pluto in Aquarius for you intimately in your own chart. So I'll give you a little bit of a more personal and intimate look at the second half of this video, but I want you guys to understand this on a global level because it's no small thing. Pluto's like thunderbolting into Aquarius, and it's not a gentle dance. It is boom. So the very first thing I really want you to do is mark these dates down. And I want you to take a look at your personal life. Go back to your journals, go back to your calendars, and see how these themes have been playing out in your own life. Okay. So you'll also want to know where in your chart. Please tell me by now you have your gorgeous natal chart, the one that we make for you. If not, go purchase one. It costs hardly anything. It's absolutely exquisite. It's so much better than the free ones. You can just go to shopsoulnavigation.com and click on Gorgeous Natal Chart and buy one. Work with that chart every week when you come to learn astrology on my channel. It'll be so helpful. So look at your gorgeous natal chart, and where do you have 27 degrees Capricorn to 2 degrees Aquarius in your own chart? Now look at the house that's in. And for some people, it might straddle 2 different houses. For most people, it'll probably be just one house, but for some people, it will be 2 different houses. The houses show you the theme in which this great change, this great death and loss and transformation, ultimate transformation. And also after it's hard, that's where you develop power. So you develop power through the challenge. So which house do you have 27 degrees Capricorn to 2 degrees Aquarius in your own chart? And that is the arena, that is the playground, that is the place in your life where you are having this great transformation. So these are the dates I want you to write down. Get out your pen and paper. So Pluto moved out of Capricorn and into Aquarius for a short period of time between March 23rd, 2023, so 3/23/2023, all the way till June 11th, 2023. So did anything powerful happen to you between March 23rd and June 11th, 2023? Then what happened is it moved into Aquarius, and then it retrograded from that June 2023 all the way until January 21st, 2024. So it was back into Capricorn. So it's almost like old ways, old structures, old ways of thinking. Probably it's almost like a comfortable misery. What happened then? And then I want to tell you that from January 21st, 2024 until September, till like Labor Day weekend, American style, until September 1st, 2024, Pluto stayed in Aquarius. And then it retrograded one last time. And so you guys, basically since March 23, 2023, it's been hovering over that 29th degree of Capricorn. And that's why I want you to watch that video, The Power of the Degrees, 0, 15, and 29. Because 29 is the death degree, 0 is the birth degree, and 15 is the pure degree. And so I talk about it. So the anaretic degree, which is the 29th degree, is pain, agony, and suffering. And so it's been retrograding, over that last degree of Capricorn and into Aquarius 3 times now. So that last date that I wanted to give you was on September 1st, 2024, it retrograded back into Capricorn for the last time. And the last time is usually very, very powerful. And then on November 19th and 20th, 2024, all the way until March 2043, it will be in Aquarius. Write those dates down and take a look at, have those places, those houses in your chart, those themes, have you had a radical shift? Is it in your first house of self, your second house of money, self-esteem, self-worth? Is it in your third house of your voice, siblings, your car, communications, short trips, right? Is it in your ninth house of higher learning? You can see globally and cosmically, you can see there is a radical shift that's going on. We're standing in a radical shift in time, literally like plate tectonics in the cosmic realm, if you will, globally and definitely in the US. And I want to go real big picture with you right now. And then we're going to cozy up and I'm going to show you how this affects you in a deeper, more personal way. But right now, I want to go big picture. So today, as I record this, we know that Pluto has moved, I don't want to say permanently, but for the next 20 years-ish, into the sign of Aquarius. And right now, you are bracing yourself probably, because wherever this is at in your own personal chart, but you can see this in the world. Turn on any news station, read any newsprint, go see any news podcast, and you will see it. We are redesigning, reinventing, and innovating. Those are all Aquarius things for the next 20 years. Or I should say right now, our reinvention will affect the next 20 years. I was one of those people that was like, bring Pluto and Aquarius. I can't wait. And now that we're here, I got to be honest with you, I feel the painful parts of this already. But we're at the 0 degree, so I do think it'll probably get harder and then easier. And I was going to say, I really like the concept of Pluto and Pisces. But then as I really, really got deep into the thought of Pluto and Pisces, no, I actually really don't. And that's a different conversation. But that's our water, polluted water. So that kind of scares me. And I know I want to be a source of radiant light for you all, but I do think that there's real challenges with Pluto and Aquarius. And I feel like I want you to know the truth. And I don't want to be one of these astrologers that's just like, yeah, it's fabulous. No, it's really tough. If you're good at change, if you want change, if you desire change, this will be easier for you because this is going to be very big change. But I want to talk about innovation. Not all innovations work. Some do and some don't. That thing where you wear the face trainer and you work out your face. So you build a strong jaw and you get rid of wrinkles, right? It's like, yeah, that flopped. The Google eyeglasses. Yeah, that didn't really take off, right? Some innovations are just flat. The robot companion, is that working out? We have to ask those people in Japan that have the robot companion. I think it is actually working out, but I don't know. Right now, I would say we need to be a willow reed. And I told my daughter that, and I said, honey, we have to be a willow reed to be able to adapt and bend. And the animals and the plants that can adapt more easily and people live longer and are happier. So to be bendy and flexible is to be strong. And so we need this strength of the willow reed. And I really admired the willow reed. And then my daughter was like, oh, like the song Willow by Taylor Swift. And I thought that was really cute. We have a really interesting dance going on right now, thunderbolts and lightning. And we're learning these new steps and we're learning how to adapt and turn and bend our body in new ways with new steps. It's an interesting dance of change right now. And Aquarius is creating the change. But Aquarius is a pretty fixed sign. And so Aquarius doesn't change gracefully. I don't want my Aquarians to be mad at me. Oh my gosh, I have my Aquarius cup. I didn't even know. That was all by chance. My husband poured me my coffee this morning and he gave me this cup. Isn't that funny? Not knowing that I was going to do this video. Let me explain it to you this way. Aquarius is a fixed sign. Its rulers are Saturn, which does not like change, and Uranus, that brings change. Now you're going to be mad at me. All the Aquarians are going to be mad at me. Please don't be mad at me. Aquarius energy is not elegant. It is not soft. It is not graceful. It is not Libra. It is Uranian. It is shocking. It's like I had to get this little shot in my arm today. It wasn't a vaccine. It was just a little steroid shot right here for a little bump that I have. That thing hurt so bad. It like shocked me out of my seat. Oh my God, it was the lidocaine. It was like a bee sting. It hurt so bad. That's Aquarius. So Aquarius is not beautiful. Aquarius is not elegant. Aquarius is not graceful. Aquarius is not sweet, kind. It's not full of thought. It is radical, swift change that is so fast. You know, it's like faster than the speed of light. So it's like you didn't even have time to react. Now, if you are an Aquarian and you're beautiful and you're elegant and you're gorgeous and you're sweet and you're kind and you're soft and you're mushy and you're just, you know, you just do change lovely and you don't shock or barb anybody, well, that means you have a very prominent other thing in your chart, like the moon or Venus. So I'm just telling you the specific energy. We don't do sun sign astrology. So I'm not calling all Aquarians that. You are the composite of your whole chart. What I like about Pluto and Capricorn is the change is very slow. It's almost like we are going to stop at this stop sign and we will be taking a right turn. It's like your driver's ed teacher in the car with you. Now, when you shift, you put your left foot down and pull the clutch out slowly. It's like you teach somebody how we're going to change. What we're going to do is we're going to put on our life jacket and then we're going to put on our snorkel and then we're going to jump. It's going to be a little bit cold in the ocean, but then what I want you to do is grab that raft, right? No, Aquarius, Pluto, Aquarius energy pushes you in and swim. Throw me a life jacket, right? It's cold. It's shell shocking. That's the piece I'm struggling with. So I want to ask you, honest question. Has this last year shocked you? This last year has shocked me. I literally, in my personal life and globally, I've seen and been in and experienced one tsunami after another, after another, after another, after another. I fix this problem over here, and then this unravels. And then I fix that problem over there, and then this unravels. It's not a complaint. I'm just telling you, Aquarius does not sometimes give you time to rest, time to regroup, time to think. It's all blasting. It's on full blast, in every direction. Aquarius creates change, but it does not like change, and it does not do change beautifully, elegantly, gracefully. It does not do it with ease. It does it shocking, like boom. And I know it's an oxymoron, but you guys, it's true. And I want you to think about these signs more deeply. And that's why I like to teach you about deeper astrology here. We're moving permanently out of Capricorn until like 240 years from now, 236 years from now. That Pluto in Capricorn has been conditioning us since 2008. So anybody born between 2008 and now, or around 2008, or even if you were born a little bit earlier than that and you had your formative years with this Pluto in Capricorn. So if you were born in 2002, 2001, 2006, you were conditioned by this Pluto in Capricorn, which is a lot of rules. And so for the last 16 years, we've been conditioned by this Pluto in Capricorn. Like I told you, the driver's ed, teaching us, okay, these are the changes coming up. I mean, it's not even that nice, but it's, at least we could see the changes that were coming with the exception of COVID. And the thing about COVID is that happened when that Pluto aspect was moving into those last degrees of Capricorn. So I want you to go back and try to remember what you were doing in 2008. Now, for me, I'll just be really personal with you. This was the housing crisis, and I had bought my first house. I had a condo, I sold it, and then I bought a home. And in 2008, my daughter was 2 years old. I was white knuckling it, trying to desperately hold on to my house and pay my mortgage. And my house was upside down by hundreds of thousands of dollars. I just felt like, God, I bought this expensive home and now it's not even worth half of what I purchased it for. I lost all my money. Every single neighbor of mine foreclosed on their house and I didn't. I found a way to hold on to my upside down house, and I was literally white knuckling it. I was scared to death. So the reason why I ask you what you were doing in 2008 is because that's when Pluto had changed signs. And when Pluto changes signs, it disrupts everything. And that was the economy. And I don't know if that affected you. You might be younger than me. I don't know if you already had your home or you already had it paid off. Where did it show up in your chart? Because wherever Capricorn is in your chart, that's where Pluto was traveling. Now, wherever Aquarius is, that's where Pluto is traveling right now. Try this idea on with me. So think about this. I don't even know if there will be an internet in, in 247 years from now. Probably not. So you and me and everybody watching this video on this planet right now will not be here when the next Pluto in Aquarius arrives. Only the immortal jellyfish will be here to witness all that has happened or happening to human life and this world. And that's the truth. The immortal jellyfish, which is the longest living creature on Earth, will probably, if the Earth is still here, be here in the year 2271. So that's 247 years from now. And also, I want you to think about this. And please forgive me, I don't know the history of the world like I know the history of the United States. So I just have to give United States metaphors because that's what's in my brain and that's what I know. But gosh, I wish I knew, the history of Sweden, the Ottoman Empire, like I know American history. So forgive me. It's a desire, but I haven't had time to study it all. I want you to think about this, and you've probably heard this from other astrologers, but it's really, really profound. And I think everybody, no matter where you live, can relate to this. The last time we were here with Pluto moving into Aquarius was around 1777. Yes. And that is when the United States became a nation. And it stayed in Aquarius until 1799. So 22 years. Research what happened during those years, and you will see an echo of that time happening now. We're just at the beginning, so we can't totally see, but I think we can feel it. And sure, look at the bad things, but also for your sanity, for your heart, for your soul, really pay attention to the good things that happened too. There were plenty of bad things. And I'm particularly thinking, because it hurts my heart to say, about the displacement and the cruelty of the indigenous people, the natives that lived in America on this soil, and what happened to them. There was a displacement of people. The white man tried to wipe away indigenous people who had lived here for thousands of years prior to us. We're the immigrants. That's the irony. We are a nation of immigrants. I am the immigrant. We forget that, but that's where we were in 1777. I think you can probably see this energy where now the number one issue in the United States is an immigration issue. It is a different form of a similar situation. It doesn't matter. I'm not even talking politics. I'm just saying that is the central theme of what is happening in American politics and in American life today. The same exact energy, however, it's advanced in some way. When I say advanced, I mean it's a fancier version, right? Because now we're like psychologically far more developed. And so it can be even a little bit more of a manipulative displacement. It can be a psychological displacement, and it can be a literal displacement. It can be, Pluto in Aquarius is shocking. It's not graceful. It's not like you're going to get a note. Hi, we are coming to deport you on, next month. Get your bags packed, grandma too. No, that's not happening. It's going to be a shock. It's not going to be Capricorn. Like, no, your visa did not come, or no, your green card has been denied. That's very Capricorn. And I'm making that sound like really nice and sweet. Capricorn Pluto is not that nice and sweet, but At least you know the rules. At least you can see it coming. But this has me really, really curious. I did want to talk about it without it being a political conversation. I want it to be a historical conversation. This had me really, really curious. It made me ask this question to myself. And by the way, I really want to ask you, please keep your comments kind. Please keep your comments positive. Write your comments in a way that can be truly useful and beneficial for other people to read on my channel, would you? I absolutely love this community so much. And if you are a member, if you are a subscriber, I am so beyond grateful. Would you become a member today for just $2.99 a month? Because that's how and why I can even do these complimentary free videos for you. So please consider, if you like my work, to support me in my journey in teaching you more. I just wanted you to see all of the behind the scenes videos that you get when you become a member. You will learn so much when you become a member. So if you really want to understand your out of bounds planets, Jupiter transits, learning astrology with me, compatibility in a complex chart, if you want to learn my personal tips and techniques reading the charts, come become a member. It's only $2.99. And it actually helps keep this channel alive. But here's my question for you. And this is an honest question, but please answer it. Are we going forwards or are we going backwards? Are we going forward or are we going backward? And then my second question is do we have to go backwards in order to understand how badly we want to go forward? Or are we just going forward? And see, we don't know it yet. I don't have the answer to that. So let's talk about a Pluto return really quickly, just because it's super rare and it's very interesting. So prior to 1777, 1778, when Pluto was moving, back and forth from Capricorn into Aquarius, the time prior to that was 1532, when Pluto was in Aquarius. Prior to that, 1777, 1778. And a few interesting things happened in 1532. And I looked them up because I just wanted to know. I wanted to understand this echo chamber more easily. And by the way, you guys can do this with any planet. You could do this with your Venus returns. You can do this with your Mars returns. You can do this with your Saturn returns. But I want to just show you this echo chamber. Okay, so in 1532, something that was called the Ecclesiastical Appeals Act of 1532 happened. It was when King Henry VIII, do you remember that guy who beheaded all of his wives? By the way, go watch my video, just King Henry VIII, and his relationship compatibility with Anne Boleyn. Holy hell. That video shocked me to death. I show you their compatibility 8 different ways. But that man was a narcissistic sicko. And he basically just wanted to, divorce all his wives, and he wasn't allowed to. And so he declared himself the king to be the supreme sovereign of England. And it made him a wholly independent empire. And it forbid the Pope, or the church, I should say, to have any rules. He had immunity, basically. And it gave him the right to be the supreme head on earth of the Church of England. And basically, it made him immune to punishment. And it gave him the power to make all decisions about religious matters. And this was a law that was passed. This is an echo chamber. And it didn't go well. I mean, it went well for Henry until it didn't. And I think he suffered in his private life in a very painful way that we don't get to know enough about. If you go back and look at the years of when, for this example, Pluto entered Aquarius, we're going to see the echo chamber of events. And so you can go and do this, but I'll give you the years. So write them down if you want to do some research and look at the whole world, right? Like I would love to know what happened here in the United States in 1532. I don't know. I didn't go that deep, you guys. I didn't do my whole history. I didn't do a whole entire course in history, but I just wanted to look up a few things for you. But the dates are 1287, 1538. So Also, I want to tell you that, remember, it's retrograding back and forth, back and forth, back and forth when it's switching signs 3 times, and it takes 3 years. So I said 1532, and then it moved into the Aquarius at around 1538. And it also depends what calendar you use. Just being close matters because Pluto moves so slowly. 1777, 1778, and 2024. So it teaches us about who we were, our ancestors, and who we have become and who we are becoming. We will relive those same themes in new ways. Hopefully we've grown. Hopefully we have advanced. Hopefully we have matured. Hopefully we have more tools and resources to understand the consequences of our past decisions and our future. So I invite you to look at where your culture and your ancestors were when Pluto moved from Capricorn into Aquarius and see how that's playing out in your current day affairs, and write them in the comments. So for example, I know France is going through a lot. I know Romania is going through a lot. Of course, look at, the Middle East. That's a shit show. And look at the USSR. Okay. Look at Russia and Georgia and all of those countries, the Ukraine. And what was going on in 1532, 1538, 1777 there. And today, you can see that Russia wants to wipe off a whole entire culture of people, a whole entire society of people. You can see in Israel with the Palestinians just being wiped out, 40,000 women and children and people just gonzo. It's God awful. I am not speaking about this flippantly. My heart breaks. I believe in love. And you want to know just the easiest remedy? And why can we not do this? I don't get it. We only need one thing to make it all work. Just one thing. Just one tiny thing, and it's not that hard. You already know what it is. It's love. And I know I sound Pollyanna, but it's the truth. It's love. Loving people that are different than you. So it really is just shell-shocking, isn't it? It's shell-shocking. So I was excited about Pluto getting out of this stodgy Capricorn, rules and oppression. Ugh. And now I'm being honest with you, not so much. I feel a heaviness with this. Granted, it's at the 0 degree. By the time it gets to 15 degrees, the aliens will hopefully be our friends. But it's fascinating to study life through the astrological lens, isn't it? We're in a massive experiment. We're in an experimental world because it feels like the whole world wants to change. And the whole world wants to innovate, and also the whole world wants to individuate through both revelations and revolutions. Revelations and revolutions. None of that is peaceful, easy Monday morning. If you're having a revolution or a revelation, now remember, this is playing out in your chart too. So it's not comfortable. So if you're uncomfortable like me, that's exactly where we are supposed to be, because change is not comfortable. And if change is comfortable, then you're probably not changing enough. So I have to remind myself, and I might have to remind you, let's don't despair. Because and I know the true remedy for our personal lives, and that is love and tenderness and thoughtfulness. So wherever this is playing out in your chart, you need to add more love and nourishment. That's my doggy. You need to add more love and nourishment to that theme in your life. So if you have this in the 6th house, that's your health and wellness. Slow it down. Yes, be innovative, be open-minded to new medicines and new remedies, new teas, new Chinese herbs, whatever it is, Tai Chi, I don't care, Reiki, hands-on healing, massage. Just slow it down and put extra tenderness and love into this part of your chart, because this theme of your life, and that's because this part's going to get jolted. I don't want you to despair. I'll tell you, Aquarius can make us feel like we're spiraling out. It can feel like a tsunami. It can feel like a tornado, and it can make us feel like we are out of control. And the changes coming down the pike can feel just downright frightening. But I think we can draw strength, both personally and collective strength, that is a larger part of the greater cosmic divine plan. Many of us believe that, it is our destiny to live in this dramatic, life-changing, earth-changing moment in time. So let's do something powerful with the energy that wants to change so badly. My personal thought is this. I think we're supposed to be here together right now. And why, I don't totally know, but I do know that it will be revealed to us shortly. I am confident of that. So on November 19th and 20th of 2024, so if you're watching this between today, 2024, and 2043, well, this video is relevant then. This is a relevant video till 2043. You have to remember that Pluto is very powerful. And so there is a death and a rebirth and a renewal and a transformation and a loss. But once you walk across those hot coals, right, and you face those challenges, you reinvent, you transform the energy, you transmute the energy, you become stronger. And this is where you glean or gain a superpower, truthfully. So you will gain a superpower if you do your Plutonian work. Let's talk about the intimate picture, okay? I've got some exciting news. You can get a reading here at soulnavigation.com. Just go to soulnavigation.com, click on book a reading. And Stacy, who has been on sabbatical, is back working, taking clients. She is an amazing reader. She is an energy healer as well. She is so soothing and so calm. She's back in January, so you can get on Stacy's calendar. You can also get a reading with Connie Jo, or you can get a reading with me. But if you really want to know more about your chart, you can get the starter package. You can get the Soul's Design Report. I have so many gorgeous reports. I also want to invite you guys, get the Child's Report. It is amazing. It is one of my very favorite reports, and get it for yourself, even if you're not a child. So lots to choose from. I cannot recommend enough the workshops that I have for sale in my shop soulnavigation.com. They are so deep. They are so profound. And I really recommend that you learn deeper astrology through purchasing some of my workshops. Okay, so now let's cozy up and get intimate. And what is happening to you in your life with this transition and transformation of Pluto moving into Aquarius? So cozy up with your hot tea. Well, each of us are starting a brand new 20-year cycle. The 20-year cycle is centered around innovating yourself, innovations, creating something, breakthroughs, having giant breakthroughs, finding your new community. You know, I have found my new community, and you guys are it. And I love you. I love you. I love being here with you. I have made so many soulmate connections through this channel, through this work. So your new community. Also, Pluto in Aquarius is telling you to advance yourself, to become the best version of yourself, to be a conscientious thinker. Like, remember when you guys probably don't remember, but back in the 70s, you would just literally, I am not joking, you would drive down an American highway and you would eat your hamburger, your Whataburger, and then you would throw the wrapper out the window. I am not freaking joking. Who does that now? I've never even seen anybody litter out their window like that, in the last, 15, 20, 30 years. I haven't even seen that. But when I was a little girl, like 10 years old in the 70s, I saw that all the time. And the billboards were, don't litter. Well, we're conscientious. Now we compost, recycle, and have trash. Now we have 3 trash cans each. Now we go to the dump and we pay to discard our garbage at the dump, right? Now we know not to put batteries and lead paint into the garbage. Now we know that plastic bags are bad. Do you see what I'm saying? So when I say be your best self, I mean be your best conscientious human who has a concept of, oh, I'm sharing this air with you. I shouldn't smoke in this restaurant. I know you Europeans are still learning that. Are you allowed to smoke in Europe inside? I think you are. I think you're allowed to friggin' smoke, or smoke on the patio even. You can't smoke on the patio in the States. You have to go 20 feet away. Let me tell you the funniest thing. When they first passed the no smoking inside, or no smoking 20 feet from within a door here in Seattle, they put in the middle of the road, all these buildings were here, and then the sidewalk, and then the road. They put in the middle of the road a couch. And on the couch, they put smoking section in the middle of the street, like the busy It was hilarious. Anyways, conscientious thinking, right? Like, oh, I'm actually sharing this space with you. I'm sharing the noise. I find it so interesting. We just went to dinner the other night, and it was an obnoxious table of 7 people. I won't go into it all. But it was just my daughter and I. We went and saw Wicked. It was absolutely wonderful. And I said, tell me the 5 top messages you got out of seeing Wicked. Really, really deep messages in that. And the table next to us were so obnoxious and so loud, we had to move 4 tables over. We had to move 4 times, 1 table over each time. And my daughter was like, I don't want them to think I'm rude. I'm like, I don't care. They are cacophony in my ear. I can't even have a conversation with you. And so we're sharing space. So conscientious thinking about shared space and finding your new community, advancing yourself and your thinking, making progress for yourself and for the earth, making progress in a way where you leave something beautiful behind, right? Leaving the place better than how you found it. Also, right now, you are in a state where you're going to come to value your personal freedoms. So my question is, do your personal freedoms need to be taken away in order for you to value them? I don't know why people have to sabotage their lives. People have to lose things in order to learn. I don't really feel I need that lesson. I can learn without losing. I can look and see, oh, all those people lost something. I better not do that. So I can learn my lessons through seeing those lessons play out in other people. But not everybody can do that. Can you do that? Or do you have to personally lose in order to cherish or value? Probably because I'm older now, and that might have been the case as a young person, but it's not the case anymore. Making progress in your life, valuing your personal freedoms, that is going to become on blast. And I think it's because some of our personal freedoms are going to be taken away, like TikTok. Is TikTok going bye-bye in January 29th? I heard TikTok's going bye-bye. That's huge. Do you know how devastated and crushed human beings will be when that free speech platform is taken away? That is going to be very, very painful. So that's what I'm talking about, like fighting for your personal freedom and declaring your independence, just like 1777. Declaring your independence, that wasn't true for all sects of society, because look at what we did to the indigenous people. We tried to snuff them out. It's disgusting. When love could have been the answer. Wherever this shows up in your chart, this is where you will want to become more independent. And you're going to want to break free from rules that suppress you, oppress you, or bully you, or take power from you, or overpower you, or dominate you. So if you're having this in the 7th house, does your relationship support you and help empower you, or are you bullied inside your relationships? You watch. You may also step into your higher mind and your genuine genius, because Aquarius is the genuine genius in us. So some of us also could feel, this is what Aquarius can create, alone, alienated, banished, or exiled. Yes, because while some will find a new community, others will be left out. And that is Aquarius. The dark side of Aquarian energy is we can feel forever separated, forever alone, very lonely, much like I have to go at it alone, or I'm in this all by myself, or it's all on my shoulders, or I'm a maverick, right? I want to talk to you about the word alien. The word alien has been sort of bastardized by calling people illegal aliens. But aliens of all kind are going to come into myopic focus during these next 20 years. So we may even feel alien. We may be called alien. We may meet aliens from other planets. The concept of alien, because it belongs to Aquarius, is going to come to the forefront of all of our lives. Well, starting now, over the next 20 years. And so you can really feel with this Pluto in Aquarius, we don't fit in. We don't believe that we belong, or we don't believe that we fit. And that is also another dark side of the Aquarian energy, because we can feel forever separated, or we can literally be separated. What are you becoming separated from? Your belief system? Yeah. What's trying to leave you? What are you trying to leave? It's very interesting. Aquarius and Pluto is willing to risk fitting in for going at it alone. It's easy to take a risk when you have consensus of the people who support you. It's hard to take a risk when you have to swim in the river all alone. But with Aquarius energy, you will risk fitting in to go at it alone and have it your way. So going at it alone may be a part of your journey right now, especially if you have this in a people house, like the 3rd house, the 5th house, the 7th house, the 8th house, the 1st house. And you might find when you go at it alone, you might find new friends on that journey. And you might leave behind old communities, old friendships, old sects, old religions, old beliefs that you had, communities, groups, organizations, especially, my sweet friends, if you are personally evolving. You will have a change in your social structure, I am pretty sure. So this is a time when you will break old habits, old routines, when you'll probably want to grow your mind, learn new things, understand the world at a deeper psychological level, and that will push you into higher consciousness. Again, the Pluto and Aquarius side, on the shadow side, is extraordinarily cold. It's ice cold and it's calculating. I mean, it makes Scorpio energy look like a soft little snuggly, cuddly teddy bear. Yeah, no. Aquarius is cold as ice. It's like a knife that can just cut ice, cut a block of ice. It can have an unfeeling, unkind, icy approach to life. Aquarius and Pluto energy can have this strategic cold approach to it. And it can forget. And this is why I'm reminding you. I'm reminding you to not let Pluto and Aquarius affect you this way or to operate this way in your own chart, because this is the shadow side. It can forget to be compassionate, care so much about the individuation, the rebellion. Think of us coming from England, Americans coming from England to the United States, just wiping out, a whole society of people, a whole land of people, because we wanted our freedom so badly. So it can forget to care, and it can want the individuation of self, and the individual purpose inside of you can be so large. You can be so hungry for this, I guess, sort of rebellious freedom that you forget to have a concern for others. And you can lack empathy for the entirety of a Rubik's Cube, right? Don't forget to invite, along this journey, Aquarius and Pluto, to invite others in need into your boat. So for the past 16 years, Pluto's transit in Capricorn was focused on what we call a top-down society and hierarchical order. Big business, big money, big economics, big corporations, amassing a house and 2 cars and consumerism, big influencers, big media, TikTok fame, Instagram overnight, like that. And now Pluto in Aquarius is bringing a totally radical different energy. However, this has just started. We've only taken one breath of this energy. We're seeing it, but we haven't truly experienced it yet. So remember that it's an air sign. And when it's high functioning, it's smart, it's ingenious, it is inventive, it creates ideas, new connections, and new, better shared experiences. Like we're better together than alone. The shadow side is going at it alone. So wherever you have 0 degrees Aquarius in your chart, this is where you're going to find a new kind of smart in you, a new kind of smart, a new genius in you, new ideas, a new way of thinking, a paradigm shift. And this is if you're healthy, if you're mentally and emotionally healthy, this is where and with whom you are going to share your resources with. So if it's in the 5th house, you might be thinking about, I'm going to share my resources with my lover or my children. And this is also where, whatever house this is in, this is where you're going to be very impatient. You're going to be like, I want change. I'm impatient. I'm rebellious. So if it's in your 6th house, it's your daily life. You're just like, I'm impatient. So you're going to feel restless, and you're going to maybe even feel like you want to buck the system. You're going to feel like, no, my way or the highway. I'm doing it my way. I like my way. And remember, not all innovations work out. So whatever house has 0 degrees Aquarius in your chart, this is where you are innovating. This is where you are transforming. This is where you are psychologically deepening, like you're understanding the psychological ramifications of life and truth on the topic of the house. I have tons of videos on all the houses and what they mean. So if you have, let's say, 0 degrees Aquarius in your 6th house, well, go watch my video on the 6th house and know that you have Pluto transiting there in Aquarius. So all of this applies to the 6th house. And if you want to know what the 6th house means, watch that video. If you want to know what the 12th house means, go watch my video on the 12th house. I'm telling you that you are stepping into uncharted territories because you're going to innovate it. You're going to do it differently. In this Aquarius place and space in your chart, not only can you benefit, but others can benefit from your great works and contributions too. You can be quite inspirational. This is all the positive stuff. This is all the good stuff. And so you can be really extraordinarily inspirational. Wherever Aquarius is, you have the potential to reach your higher mind in your chart. And remember that there's an ability to grow, and your growth helps the collective. There's a collective good that can be gained, actually. It's almost like we're trading out a top-down power for an egalitarian mindset. I don't think we're starting out that way, but we might end up that way because we might go into a top-down, more self-centered me. It's not going to work. And then we regroup and to help the whole collective. We might, look at all these struggles around the entire globe. Like, we might all need to come together. A funny question is I wonder if the aliens will unite us on Earth. It's a fun, funky thought. Pluto in Aquarius is going to show us how innovation can help us in time. And in time, I think it will help us build communities that will work for everyone, not just special ones. But I think it's really dangerous because innovation can advance us so fast that we sabotage ourselves in the process, which I think we're kind of doing with the planet. Like AI, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it's mostly a good thing unless you abuse it. And then it's a really bad thing. And then it's super dangerous, right? So it's like social media, good thing or bad thing? Well, I think it's a good thing. It helps promotion and marketing. It helps people have a voice and a place in society that they wouldn't normally have, but it's also a place of mass misinformation. So is it a good or bad, right? So that's the Aquarius puzzle. That's the conundrum. That's the oxymoron. That's the problem. That's the challenge. We need good people with integrity that help us with this innovation. But from now till 2043, the focus is going to be in your own life too, dismantling outdated hierarchical thinking and leaning more into inclusivity, growing collaborative systems, and being mentally forward thinking. And so this is a really potent, powerful push towards building our dreams and not caring as much about money as we do in people and in humanity and societies and thoughts and aspirations. And so we will, in the best of times, put our own selves second to those who are in more need than us. But I think first we have to have still more of a collapse of a hierarchical system. So I think we'll lean into this hierarchy a little bit more, and it will collapse during these next 20 years. I really do. It'll be fun to come back and watch this video and see what happened. With Pluto in Aquarius, you might be drawn into helping fix others, heal even the world, our earth, our communities, our waters, our air. And you're going to see that we're going to have an air problem because this is death of air. So there's going to be some sort of air problem, a problem with our airplanes or the sky, or I don't know, the pollution. We're going to become focused on being an advocate for shaping a bigger, brighter world, more than we ever even imagined. And so you might advocate for your dreams now and innovate your life starting now. And you might start living very differently than you have for the last 16 years. And it's shocking, surprising, and out of the blue. Remember, it's not graceful. We don't have the driver instructor in the car teaching us, oh, you're going to take a left-hand turn 2 blocks down. No, it's just going to pop. So have you already experienced giant shocks and surprises? If so, leave them in the comments and let me know. I want to know. You're going to do life differently. You're going to start having new urges, new desires, new shocking, surprising opportunities that come your way. And you may even claim your freedoms in bigger ways and your dreams for a better world for yourself. And the collective may take precedence in your life right now. For example, you might want a job that has more meaning in it, that is more useful. You don't want to just do the dead-end job that is meaningless. Aquarius wants to make meaning. Aquarius is the bright mind. I want you guys all to expect massive cultural change. Your life, your family, and the world in which you live in. Get ready to experience a revolution inside of you and out in the world. Not now. Remember, this is a 20-year transit. So I'm talking about the big picture. But we're going to see culture wars and culture clashes. And it can happen in your home life too. Culture war, culture clashes. You might be, in a family of siblings that have two different cultures. I think of like Ukraine and Russia. Every Ukrainian I know has a family member in Russia, and they're brothers. They're brothers. And so it's very, very sad what's going on there. But I'm just saying, like, it's like two different cultures inside the same domain. And this is going to be a change era. And this is going to be any babies born in the next 20 years, any babies that were born even this year, because they're going to grow up with their formative years they are the great change makers. And we're going to go through many cycles, and mistakes have to correct themselves. I'll say it again. Mistakes will have to correct themselves. So I think we're standing in a lot of mistakes right now that we're trying to correct, and we're not going to correct them all. And then we're going to make more mistakes and then have to correct those, right? So just remember, we are a work in progress. We are the great experiment. You might be a voice, and especially if you are a little baby and you're growing up into the formative years, you're growing, 0 to 20 years old right now. And maybe wherever you are at in your life, you may be the voice that generates a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling. You may help grow a new government. You may help grow new governmental solutions and structures for your community. And you might be a part of innovating groundbreaking technology or medicine, or you might advance social change. I mean, it's a big time right now. That's why I think we chose to be here for a reason, even though it's uncomfortable. It's kind of painful for some of us. And especially if you're a sensitive soul like me. Like, I truly believe in my heart of all hearts, love heals everything. Why can't we just do that? It's so easy. But no, we can't. We have to make it really complex. But we are all right now pioneers, discovering the new world that lives inside of us and the unimaginable world that lives outside of us. You are a pioneer, my friend. And think about those pioneers. So where are you wanting to go? Tell me what you're wanting to discover, because this is the time. You, my sweet friend listening to this, you can change the world with a new way of thinking. It starts right here. So regardless of whether you like it or not, we are at an enormous collective turning point, which means everyone, regardless of what your birth chart looks like or what sun sign you have, you and I will both be impacted by Pluto in Aquarius. And looking to the house where you have the 0 degrees Aquarius and also the planets in your chart that are also at that 27 degrees, 28, 29, 0, 1, or 2, those planets are in relationship to Pluto right now. Those planets are being activated. So if it's your moon, it's your heart. If it's your sun, it's your identity. If it's your Mars, that is in aspect to Pluto. And if you want to understand aspects, I have an entire aspects playlist. Get that. And you can also get your 365 transit report, where we literally take your chart and customize daily transits for you, like what you are going through, specifically you. So that would be a really good report for you to get to see how this is affecting you. But what planets are being touched or being aspected with Pluto right now? Pluto's transits are really, really deep, and they take a very long time to reveal themselves. And oftentimes you don't even know what you're standing in. Like, we didn't know we were standing in COVID. We knew we were standing in COVID. We didn't know what it meant until we frickin' figured out what it frickin' meant, right? We had no idea. First case of COVID was just right down the street and around the corner in Kirkland, Washington, from where I live. We didn't know what it meant. Oh, this guy caught a flu and died. Oh, that's terrible. Is this bird flu? We had no idea, right? Now we know. Now we know what that was. The one thing you can extract from Pluto is power. It's power. You can become empowered. You can become very influential and very powerful. You yourself will glean new power from this. Not right away. Remember, like the COVID, we didn't know what it was. And now we have an insight that we never had before. Remember that this is going to affect your personal identity and also our community at large. So remember that Aquarius is community energy. And you're going to experience this transit in your own personal and unique way. But the effects are really primarily at the collective level, and they're going to travel across all communities, all countries, even all continents. And this is a transformational invitation for an innovative revolution that we all get to take part in. So what will your part be? Your personal world, your life, is asking you to dismantle it and put it back together in a new, more advanced way. So I'm curious about this thought. I sometimes think that Aquarius energy ushers in ideas that are too quirky, too unstable, too risky, too crazy, too cuckoo, too big, too bold, too much, too wild, too unstable. And then we come to learn that innovation and the new way is also, quite frankly, just more destructive than the original Coke Zero or whatever it was, all the Cokes colas that didn't taste very good. And then they just went back to classic Coke. So sometimes trying new things or losing the traditional things that we once valued actually force us back into valuing those traditional things again. And I'm wondering if that's happening, like we're figuring out what traditional things we really, really cherish and want to hold on to. And while we've been sitting on that horrible 29th degree of Capricorn, from on and off since February 2023, I think so many of us have experienced such deep personal losses that a lot of us have lost our faith, our hope, our dreams, our loved ones, our homes, our children, our parents. But it's through those losses that we find what we truly, truly value, and we find what makes life powerful and what is deeply important to us and what is worth fighting for. So what is worth fighting for you? For me, what is worth fighting for is all people feeling loved. I want all people to know that they are special and they are remarkable and they have a place in this world that is important and of value. That's my personal fight. What's yours? Because Pluto and Aquarius is going to make you fight the big fight. Not just a little fight. This isn't just, hey, I wanted a bite of your cake and you didn't give me one. No, we're not talking little tiny thinking. We're talking real big picture. So what's worth fighting for you? My friends, you are finding new breakthroughs in your life. Your views on life will evolve and change in the next 20 years. Who you are today is not who you're going to be in 20 years. I promise you that. You're going to cultivate new friendships and you're going to develop a new meaning of what power and leadership really are. Not what you thought they were, not old Capricorn, money, status, house, car, but what they really are. Probably something intangible, like knowledge is power, like love is power, right? Vulnerability is intimacy, right? So it's going to probably be intangible. Why? Because it's air, and air is the mind. Most of you, friends, will feel the pressure to evolve, adapt, and become your own unique best self. And we are in this transformational metamorphosis for all of us to be a part of. So I just want to say, if the aliens come to your house and knock on your door, will you answer it?